The way you gather momentum feels so good because you keep like basically you're swinging with the triggers and you hit X and kind of propel yourself forward and gain speed and momentum and height. And it is like, you're totally right, because there was a moment I was like, crap, I'm going to collide with that building. And you just hit it and do a smooth run.
And you keep running, yeah.
Which like Spider-Man games have done. I think like Spider-Man 3 tried to do that a little bit, but it's just never looked and felt this perfect. Like the Activision Spider-Man games are special to me in a weird way, because especially on PS2, like those games really like are the first time I really feel like I appreciate an open world, maybe even more so than in GTA.
Really cool combos too.
Yeah, for sure. But this is it is everything those games did times a trillion. Like there's nothing about this that doesn't feel better.
This one is a game first. And that's it. It's a game, you know. And I think that the Activision ones always suffered from being like part of a fiscal calendar and being maybe a tie into a movie or like a holiday release. In this case, like I don't know. I think they're gonna finish this game and put it out when it's done. You know, and obviously it's still part of Sony's fiscal calendar and everything.
Well,
but
that's the thing is like with exclusives like this, the reason that Sony's going to keep funding them forever is that it's a reason to own their hardware. So it's like they don't want to rush any of that stuff when they're getting people into their infrastructure and getting people to play for PlayStation Plus. Like it's a business move that it's like you need your games to be really good so people will stay.
Even beyond like PlayStation, Sony owns the right to Spider-Man too. So it's like, why do it.
Yeah, they slapped that font right on the old PS3.
Oh yeah, they did. That was a Ken Kutaragi call. He's like
let me actually, we have somebody a fan wrote in from the show. It's Barrett, our producer Barrett, and he said I love it. Swinging feels great. Stealthing and punching bad boys is awesome. I'm convinced the secret villain at the end of the E3 demo is actually the cop lady friend, and she's a female reimagination of Doc Ock or Goblin. Interesting take, Barrett.
Weird at the end there, but before that, I agree.
Joshua Yell, our senior comics editor, put up a really, really good piece kind of going through who he thinks that last villain is. And man, it's interesting. He has a lot of really solid theories. I totally think it's Green Goblin. I think they've teased Osborn too much for it not to be. But he had a really good point that the guys writing this game actually wrote a very famous Doc Ock arc in the comics, and it would make a lot of sense. And he lays out a lot of very good reasons for who he thinks it is.
I'm glad we saw a lot of villains in this trailer, but like when we were doing our pre-show, I was just like, I want to see the open world swinging, and I want to see the villains, and we got both of those. But I did want to say before we move on to the next topic that the actual combat is way harder than I thought it would be. Yeah. It is not just a series of QTEs. It's a lot of management. Your Spidey sense. It is a lot like Arkham. Your Spidey sense goes off when someone's like going to be shooting at you. So it's like, okay, bullets will kill you really quickly, and they really do. So you have to like figure out how to dodge. I didn't use my abilities as much as I should have.
Yeah. Oh, they're so cool. The gadgets. So you have it's a lot to take in at once, but you have a context menu with, I think it's with one of the sticks, that you pull up a gadget menu.
I think it's just
and
L1.
then it gives you might be
L1,
right. Yeah. Well, whatever it is, you pull up like a wheel, basically like a gadget wheel that almost reminded me of Mass Effect 1. And like you pick your thing and like
totally is like Mass Effect 1. That's really funny.
It's a smart, different twist than I expected. Also, the way you use the environment is cool. Like any manhole cover or car door or anything.
Very Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, totally. You pull on it and then you just swing it around and it feels so good.
And I will say before we move off, one of the coolest openings to any demo I've ever seen. Like Spider-Man is just hanging out against a wall with his mask up on a cell phone and just says press X to start, and you hit X and he pulls his mask down and just jumps off the wall, and then you're just free falling, and then it's like, oh, press R2 to swing.
It's same as God of War.
All of a sudden you're just swinging. It's
I know.
so
I kind
good.
of like the whole take on this Peter Parker is that he's been doing this for a while and he's really experienced. So I kind of want that to be how the game begins, because there's no origin story. You don't need anything more than that.
Well, you see, Peter Parker was just a mild-mannered high school student.
Did anything happen with his like parents or his like uncle or anything like that?
That was just a small snippet of this week's Beyond. For the full episode and lots more, head to IGN.com/watch/Beyond or subscribe to YouTube.com/IGNBeyond today.